This is a Squabble Studios production.
Hello, and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. I'm Carter.
And I'm Jacob, and I just yawned when I said that. That's why I sounded so low.
Jacob. And did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. No, not well. Kind of. I kind of watched it. I watched about half of it. I'd say collectively.
I would probably say I watched about 1/4 of the actual.
Yeah, actually,
game.
I'll say that I didn't watch half. I probably met a solid 1/4 too.
Yeah.
I was planning on it, but then
commercials
I was
though,
like,
I made sure to peek in on the commercials.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'm just happy everyone had fun.
Me too.
Both teams had fun.
Oh,
you know?
I thought you meant people at our party.
No. I'm happy that I'm just glad that both teams had a good time.
I mean, I'm kind of glad the Chiefs won. I didn't have a strong opinion of it, but a lot of people I know did. And I mean, I prefer them over the 49ers, I think. So more like the 69ers. So everybody knows that if you're not a sportsy person, the best part of the Super Bowl is the commercials, right?
I would agree.
We're one of the million videos that comes on after the, everybody's got to get on the bandwagon of when the Super Bowl is. The commercials.
Mojo.
Yeah,
Mojo's going to come
here's
out.
our top 10 Super Bowl commercials 2020.
Our top 10. Yeah.
No, they
Here are
don't
the
sound
top
like that.
5.
They don't sound that intense, but
Yeah, Mojo, I think, is a woman narrator, right?
I think it depends.
Oh, okay. I've always thought. Okay. But anyway.
It's Watch Mojo.
Yeah, but it's Mojo.
It's called Watch Mojo, bro. Anyways, are you ready for your random fact of the day that has nothing to do with the episode or the Super Bowl? I'm going to ruin this segue by telling you this really cool thing I discovered the other day. Do you remember the old classic SpongeBob video game, Sponge Out of Water? No, Battle for Bikini Bottom. Sponge Out of the Water was the movie.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they're remaking it, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to remake it and release it in like August, I think.
That's actually pretty cool. I'll play it.
Yeah, me too. But it's awesome. And they're going to like try to make it like literally the same thing, just remaster it to work. They're going to like try to be as faithful as possible.
I'm on board with that idea.
Anyways, on to the actual episode now. Unless you have any announcements.
I think I'm announcement list.
Wow. We just need to do something more important. Anyways, back to the commercials.
Right.
One day, mark our words, Squabble will have a commercial at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, mark the words right now.
Mark them.
Mark them.
Write them down. I think that's what that means.
I guess. Just like, I think it's just keep a record that we said it.
Yes.
Yeah, we will one day have a commercial at the Super Bowl for Squabble.
Mm-hmm. And we decided to start preparing early.
Yeah, we got it. Because, I mean, the commercials are like, what, $5 million for 30 seconds?
Might be a little bit overshooting it, but that.
They came out on the Super Bowl. They said the average
out?
commercial for an average 30-second commercial is $5 million.
I'll Google it because I want to know the exact number. How much is a Super Bowl commercial?
So if you want to donate on Patreon, that's patreon.com/Squabble Studios.
Yeah, you're right. So very expensive commercials cost as much as $5.6 million per 30 seconds this year.
Per 30 seconds. I think we're going to shoot for a 1-minute ad.
So we'll need about $10 million, a little bit more than that.
So patreon.com/Squabble Podcast. No, /Squabble Studios, so that we can get a ad
million
on the
ad.
Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If we get even 5 mil, if we get even close to $1 mil,
we can get less than 30
if
seconds.
we even get 1 mil, we'll put an ad on there because you got to spend some to make some.
Yeah, exactly.
And what
we're just going to spend your money, folks.
And what commercial will we put on there? That's the question.
That is a question. Like I said, we decided to plan early. We've got our commercials here.
Yeah,
do you want to do yours? Or you want to start with mine?
We can start with one of mine because I think we both have two.
Yeah,
we've both prepared 2 commercials that we're going to pitch to each other.
I've got 2 that are like really well prepared, and then one, or a few other ones. I'll get into it, but
right. And I mean, we don't have. It's $5.6 million, so we can only run one probably, depending on how many you guys, how many of you guys pay. Come on, if we get 1 million of you guys donate $1, look at that.
So we'll have to decide who's we're going to use today. But anyways, you can.
So here's mine. Here's my idea. So
elevator pitch it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to pitch it. Why? We have more time than an elevator.
Well, maybe
because the
elevator
gets
like, stopped. Or if you're going like 50 floors
my
up.
elevator pitches are really long because I always like to press the emergency button in the elevator that I have as much time as I need.
Or you just click all the buttons like the Christmas tree and elf thing.
Exactly. But okay, so here's the pitch. Imagine this, Jacob.
Should I close my eyes?
Close your eyes. We are the Super Bowl announcers. All right? We're the sports announcers. We're in the booth. narrating the game. The Chiefs are going to
win. Oh, they got tackled.
What is Johnson doing?
Johnson?
I'm pretty sure there's a player named Johnson. But we're the announcers. We're just
Not on the
casually.
Chiefs, I
One
don't
of the
think,
teams gets a point, but the ref flags it. Foul. Something like that, right? So the two guys are starting
I'm going to open my eyes. I'm getting too sleepy with them.
Yeah, that's fair. They kind of get one of the guys like, no, that's not a foul. The other guy's like, that was totally a foul. You like elbowed me in the butt cheek or something like that.
Because that's definitely a foul.
Yeah, it is.
The butt cheeks are off limits.
Yeah. Like
that's gay.
Hey, that's a foul. And the referee's like, yeah, you nudged him in the butt cheek. And the other guy's like, well, it's not a foul. I didn't touch his butt. So there's a fight breaks out, right? And the referee gets pushed back. They start fighting. A huge crowd surround. Like all the players are starting to crowd around. Like a huge fight. It like escalates really quickly. It escalates, comedically how fast the people start surrounding. And they've made a mob circle around the two players, and you can't even see the players anymore. The ref gets shoved all the way to the back. Well, the coach and the other ref, they're trying to push through. And we're up in the booth like, what's going on down there? What's happening? There's a huge fight breaking out. The ref, he's trying to get through the crowd, but it's loud, and everyone's like, fight, fight. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But the ref, he's trying to push through the crowd of people. He's shoving, he's pushing, and finally he bursts through into the center circle, and he looks up. He falls on the ground. He gets up and he looks up to see that the two players are sitting at a desk in the middle of the football field with microphones and headphones, and they are kindly debating about who fouled on who. And and then it cuts to us as announcers, and I'm like, looks like the players are in some sort of noisy quarrel, Bob.
Yeah, about something petty or trivial.
Yep. And then
that's Squabble.
Cuts to black, logo appears or something like that. And that's my first ad.
Wow, that's good. I would definitely check that out. I would laugh. I think we could make it at least in like a top 15 Watch Mojo.
Oh, yeah.
Video.
I think we'd make
Probably
it into a Watch
top 10.
Mojo. Yeah.
I mean, they put like every commercial in there. There's not that many, but
well,
just
before
kidding.
we get to what do you think was the best commercial that actually?
I like the baby nut.
Yeah.
Just because I like both of those words.
Yeah, the word baby and the word nut.
Exactly.
Yeah, I preferred the either Post Malone's beer commercial, where he's trying to decide between regular beer or the seltzer. I can't even remember the type of beer. I was just like Post Malone, but so I guess it wasn't that good of a commercial because I don't remember what kind of beer it was. I think it was Bud Light. Yeah, I think it was Bud Light. But and then he crashes the whole story. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I just noticed.
Thanks. Well, did you
I didn't
think
say it was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is good, but I didn't say it was good.
Yeah, I said thanks. I guess I was just thanking you for noticing.
Yeah.
Even though, because a lot of people think that, but like, what if it's a terrible haircut?
What if they're like, "Ooh, you got a haircut"?
Oh, thanks, but like you secretly hate it. It's like you got a mohawk.
So you shouldn't
or
say
something.
thanks if somebody said, "Whoa, what's wrong with mohawks?" Don't bash the mohawk, bro.
Well, there's a certain type of person.
You know
that
who
can
had
pull
a
off
mohawk? Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I take it back. Never mind.
I think he did at least. We're gonna Google that now.
No, I don't think he did. I think you're thanking it because his
his
last name's
name?
Hawk.
I think he had a mohawk.
I don't think he ever had a mohawk though.
I'm looking it up.
But you know who did have a mohawk? That one guy that you.
Oh, there's a picture of him with one.
Okay, so at one time he did have a mohawk, but
He
I
at least
think,
wore it one time. He didn't like trademark it though. It wasn't his thing.
yeah. But that guy from Crazy Taxi, he had a mohawk.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
It's not a player.
Wow, look at that person.
Look up
mohawk.
Crazy Taxi mohawk guy. It's not a player. I'm not talking about a player. I don't think you can play him. It's like an actual person that you just pick up.
Oh, I thought it was the guy that drove.
No, it's not a driver.
Yes.
No, none of the drivers.
you're right.
It's one of the.
He had a pink
It's
mohawk.
one of the guys you could pick up while playing Crazy Taxi.
And he has like a
pink
red
mohawk
shirt. Yeah, I never remember
and
that
a
now.
weird tank top. He was a freak, but
They should make a Crazy Taxi movie.
that is literally one of my favorite games ever.
Me too, bro.
What was that even on? We had it on the PS.
PS2.
We had it on the PS2.
Look at the logo. What even is it? It's like an evil taxi monster thing.
I don't know. That is on fire. It's like a neck pillow, I think.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh, BD Joe.
Yeah, BD Joe. Tag yourself. I always
BD
chose
Joe.
either BD Joe
Or the guy on the very end or the guy on the very left?
or the shirt. The guy who had the button
his
up.
butt.
Oh, they both have unbuttoned shirt, but I always picked the guy with that.
That guy looks like the dad
flower
from Psych.
shirt. Yeah, I always picked that really tan guy with the khakis.
I liked BD Joe.
Yeah, never the
Or
woman.
the girl because she's hot.
I never picked the woman.
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
I
There
played
he is
when I was
again.
like
Mohawk
14.
dude.
Yeah, I always picked. If I saw that guy, I was like, he needs to ride ASAP. He's got to be going somewhere. It's important.
Yeah.
But this is off topic. But if you have the chance to play Crazy Taxi on the PS2.
My ad actually, ironically, was us playing. I'm the crazy taxi guy. I pick you up. No, that would be genius, though.
That is a good ad. But no, Post Malone ad or the Lil Nas X ad. That was funny. Anyway,
I just like
for
Baby
Doritos
Nut.
because I like Doritos. Anyway, you go.
Okay, so this is actually inspired by an old skit we made.
Oh.
I didn't tell you I was going to bring this up. but
Okay, I'm
open the
ready.
vault. So you're going to know as soon as I say like the first few words, but they might not know. Anyways, it's basically, this is like it. A robber is breaking into a guy's house. It's super intense. It's filmed like it's like a.
This was
like
a good skit.
It was, but we could make it.
I'll
some-
talk about the skit
Yeah.
afterwards. So I will too.
A robber's breaking into a guy's house, right? So it's super. You obviously know this, what it would look like, but they don't. So for the people's sake, we're gonna.
Right. You explain
It's
it.
like a robber. He's breaking into this guy's house. It's super intense. It looks like it's going to be actually like an intense thing. He
Right,
breaks
right.
in. He finally gets into the house. First, you like see him in the yard and stuff. He breaks into the house. He starts doing stuff. You can't really see what he's doing though. He's like working really hard. You think he's just stealing stuff, and then it cuts to the guy in bed that lives there. He like wakes up. He hears something. He like looks around. He goes. He grabs a baseball bat. You know, he's like going up. He opens the door. He opens his bedroom door. He heads towards the kitchen. He walks in, sees the body, just like the silhouette of the robber, and he flips the light on. And the robber's standing there with a smoothie, like his blender out, cutting a banana. And he looks over and he's like, "What are you doing?" And obviously, then the thing is it ties into Squabble. They start arguing about him being a bad robber and the difference between a smoothie and a milkshake.
Right.
Yeah, so they get there and he's like, "I'm making a milkshake." He's like, "It's not a milkshake. You're using fruit." And then they start arguing, even though they're,
Even though he just broke into
he
his
just
house.
broke into his
Right,
house,
right.
exactly. And yeah, so it just ends with them arguing, and then like it just like zooms out, like the zooms where it's like like you can hear it everywhere.
Right.
It'd like zoom out, and all the neighbors would be like turn their lights on, like "Shut up,"
Yeah,
because they're like yelling at each other in
That's pretty good.
in the kitchen over. So that's my first one. Not as good as my other commercial, or it's not as in depth. But I really just wanted an excuse to bring up that old skit because it would work as a commercial.
That would work as a commercial,
Mhm.
and I think we should redo that for just a straight up Squabble trailer on our YouTube.
Yeah,
Because that skit was awesome.
it was an
And,
awesome skit.
I think that was the very first ever, technically not Squabble, but I think the very first video that we could market as the first Squabble video, because
Yeah.
before Squabble, we actually
We wanted to do sketch comedy.
well, I was gonna say the YouTube channel that we decided to start was called the Gord Brothers.
Because we thought that was cool and artsy and different.
Because I don't even remember.
Don't know why, but
technically
that's what it was
why
called.
It was why we called it that.
Daniel the intern just walked in. Welcome, Daniel the
Welcome,
intern.
Daniel. Would you like to take a seat?
You can take a seat. Your signature chair is not set up. You'll have to set it up. Don't mind him. He's just vibing.
But yeah, we called our first channel the Gord Brothers, and our first video on there was me and you making that skit. You were the robber, and I was the guy with the baseball bat. It was not very good.
It was not at all.
Well, I think for our first skit ever, I thought it was good.
It was a good idea.
It was a great idea.
Yeah. And me drinking the smoothie through the ski mask at the end was pretty funny.
I don't think that video is public anymore, but maybe we might make it public.
We might release clips of it
I
to
think
compare
we'll-
to our new one when we remake it.
Yes, we'll definitely
Yeah.
remake it because that would be hilarious. But anyway, you want me to go now?
Oh yeah, sure, you can go. And also, well, go ahead. Then I'll say what I was gonna say.
No, what were you gonna say?
Well, it was about my next commercial, kind of. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, so here's how this one is going to start, all right? So there's this guy, and he's working in an office. He's got an office job, obviously, in some sort of cubicle and some sort of, I don't know, building that is a bunch of cubicles type, very modern, like stereotypical office job. And he's got, his buttoned-up shirt, khakis or whatever, and he's just working on his computer, obviously doing some good work. He reaches for his coffee cup, goes to drink coffee. It's empty.
Oh.
He needs some more coffee. So naturally, he gets up, goes to the break room.
Naturally.
He gets coffee. He fills his coffee mug up, turns around, and immediately runs into a guy and spills burning hot coffee all over himself.
Oh.
And the guy is like, bro. And he's like, pretty upset about it. He's very upset.
I would be too.
He just spilled burning hot coffee all over his white shirt. He's so upset.
He's so upset.
And it was the last of the coffee too.
Yeah.
And now he's got to brew more if he wants some. And that was just so. But instead of getting right before he like gets mad or starts yelling or something, he whips out his phone plugs in his headphones, and plays an episode of Squabble.
Oh.
Yeah. And goes back to sit down at his cubicle, and he on his way to his cubicle, he starts laughing that he says something's hilarious, and then let's see. Let me read my notes here. So he continues to laugh even though throughout the rest of the entire day, terrible stuff starts happening to him. Like he's having a terrible day.
Yeah.
He gets on the bus to go back home, and an old man like falls asleep on him and drooling, but a man's still laughing. He's just laughing. It cuts to him walking down the sidewalk, and a car drives by, splashing water all over him, and then it starts pouring down rain, but he's still laughing. He thinks he walks into his house, and suddenly someone's robbing him, but he's just laughing.
Yeah.
And this is when we might have to do a little editing in the commercial, because then what I have down here is the robber pulls out a gun and shoots him, but like he's still laughing.
Yeah, he's just like,
he falls on the ground bleeding, and he's just laughing.
That's gonna get creepy.
and then it cuts to him on a hospital bed, rolling or maybe in an ambulance, but he's laughing. And finally, it cuts to him in a wheelchair being rolled out of the hospital by the nurse. He's still laughing, but then the nurse steps on his headphone cord, and it takes the headphones, or unplugs the headphones, and he immediately stops laughing, and like death glares the nurse, and it like zooms in really intently for a second, and then it cuts to black, and it opens, and maybe our logo comes up or something, and then it cuts back to them, and one of them has a headphone in, the other one has the other headphone in, and they're both sitting in the ambulance or whatever, both laughing. And then money line here, narrator comes up and is like, "Squabble the podcast. It'll brighten anyone's day."
Was that a new slogan?
No, but that's just a nice...
nice touch for the commercial. I like that one.
Thanks.
I like that. Camera woman just started playing music on her phone.
Bruh.
That is a bro moment. No, I like that one. I imagine when he's like walking down the sidewalk, he's got like one of those like in the movies, like the singular rain cloud above him, like just him.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be so funny.
And it's one of those shots or those sequences that it's like his face stays in the same spot of the screen for every shot.
Yeah.
But like around him it changes. So like his face doesn't change, doesn't even move off the different part of the screen, but it cuts to him on the bus.
Funny that you said that, because my next commercial has similar shots like that, and funny that you brought up something about a robber in this one too. We both had like similar themes.
We did not coordinate either.
No, we didn't talk about these.
I understand that the robber pulling a gun and shooting him
might get a little.
I don't know if they'll allow that on. So, alternative is maybe the robber has a baseball bat and clunks him on the head.
That's more comical.
That is more comical.
You could even have a big hammer, big mallet. That's too comical.
About that, or maybe he's got like I don't know. Maybe he just straight up punches him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's allowed on to be aired.
We'll figure it out though.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But that's the idea.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the idea.
Yeah, because the blood being shot.
Well,
I don't know
we
what
show blood, but we're gonna get really gory.
I was planning on it.
Yeah,
because
he just like curb stomps him.
Oh gosh, but he's still laughing.
Yeah, he's still laughing. That'd be creepy.
Because no matter what, Squabble brightens your day. You know.
Yeah, no matter what, even if you're getting curb stomped, like currently, not like you just got curb stomped. You're currently getting your face bashed, and you're still just listening to Squabble. You'll be happy.
That's terrible. All right, what's your next one?
Okay, mine is this is like mine incorporates the Snap You Later.
All right,
Squabble.
this is good.
Yeah. And about our whole little message. So basically, this would be how it would work is we'd be reading this script I have, and I'm gonna snap. I'm gonna say snap every time and maybe snap too. Like every time it would in the commercial, basically we'd snap, and every time we snap, we'd teleport to somewhere else, but like we'd still be like in the same places. It'd be really fun. It just take a lot of editing, but by then, of course, we'll have the backup.
Right, I mean, we'll have at least $1 million.
At least, yeah, right. Quality. So it would be like the script would be.
Speaking of which, I'm sorry to interrupt. You're gonna have to donate a little bit more because I forgot about the what it's gonna take to actually make the commercial. So if it costs about $5.6 million to air the commercial for 30 seconds, we're probably gonna have to shoot for
at least another $1 million. To make the commercial,
$6 or $7 million,
especially if we're gonna rent out an entire football arena for Carter's,
right?
And do lots of special effects in this one
with the gun,
and in mine is gonna have lots of special
and
effects
the rain
too.
Cloud. So $7 million is what we're shooting for.
Okay.
Patreon.com.
Actually, no.
Studios.
Ideally like $11 million because 10 million for the 1 minute ad.
Right, and us, we don't want to.
Easy money.
Easy, really easy. Look, if everyone donates 5 and we get about 1 million of you guys to,
if we get 11 million people to donate $1, we're set.
Right. So just tell a friend. Just ask a friend. Ask everybody you know for $1.
And then ask all of them for $1. All of them to ask all of their friends for $1.
And whoever donates the most will be the star of the commercial.
Oh, what if they're a bad actor?
I don't
be
care,
an extra.
dude. I don't care.
Okay.
We'll
It's
be
worth
in
it.
the commercial.
Yeah,
okay?
they'll have an actual part.
Exactly.
Okay. You can be the snoring guy on the bus.
Anyone can do that.
Yeah, anyone can do that. That's easy.
Exactly. And or you could be the robber because you'll have a mask on.
Whoa, you say that. They'll be ugly?
They're not ugly. You just maybe you're not good at acting, so you don't get those emotions.
He said you were ugly.
You're not portraying the
Listeners, he
emotions
called
want.
you ugly.
I can't even see him.
Anyways.
Most of them can't even see us.
Bro, you're digging the hole. You just drop the shovel.
It's a podcast. Fine.
Somebody's told us we have a face for podcasting.
We do have faces for podcasting.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Anyways, so the script would be, we'd be like sitting at our desks, right? We like walk in, sit down, we're at the desks, and we have our mics, and we go, squabbles happen all the time. And then we snap, and we're somewhere else. But like we're still like in the same position. It's like still like the camera's in front of us.
Right.
And now we're like walking down the street, you know, like city. And we go everywhere. We snap again, and we're like on a snowy mountain. You know, like we're on like Mount Everest.
All right.
And we're like, you never know when one might happen. And then we snap again, and we're somewhere else. Like every time, like we say something, we go somewhere else, right? So I'll tell you at the end everywhere that I have, except for a few things. So we snap again. So you never know when one might happen, and when a squabble does inevitably appear, snap or somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And you need to be prepared. And then this one will be funny. We snap, and then we're gonna be like right in front of like a bear in the middle of the woods, and we're gonna be like look at each other and look back at the camera and start running, and the bear's gonna be chasing us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be like, sounds intense, and then we're gonna snap again, and we're right at the edge of a cliff, right? And we're like looking over, we like stop, and we go, it is, and then one of us, I'd like look over, you'd be like, why would you snap us here? And then we snap away. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been so far.
Yeah, he says it is, and they say, but we'll be there to guide you on your journey to being understood and understanding. Snap anything. And then we're somewhere else in here. And then it would go, we'd snap again, and we'd be back here. And we'd walk, and we'd sit down, and we'd say, so, prepare to squabble. Prepare to squabble is a good one.
Yeah.
Some places to teleport to, that I said would be good. We'd start out at our desks, and then we'd end there, too.
Okay.
You know, so make full circle. I said, like, the top of, like, a snowy mountain.
Right.
Yeah, we have the green screen over there. I don't think your green screen would have to be pretty good to do all this, but we're at a snowy mountain. I said the bear attack. Obviously, that'd be really funny. I said underwater, like we got scuba gear on. And we're like swimming, you know, that'd be pretty funny. So like in New York City, you know, like some big, like some iconic place, you know, the Great Wall of China.
100%.
Yeah. We could get there in a tiny boat in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yep. And then at the edge of a cliff, which I had that down.
Yeah.
I also think it'd be funny if like everywhere we went, obviously except like not the bear attack and the edge of the cliff, but all the other places, like everyone around us is like arguing with each other.
Oh yeah, little details.
He's like in the back, or like he could even be in the front, like on the tiny boat in the middle of the ocean. We could be like, when we say like it happens anywhere, and then we're there, and there's like these two people screaming at each other, like sitting across each other. We're sitting in between them, like just all awkward, you know, like they're arguing.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. So that's and then what I was gonna say. Of course, we need a few more $1 million for this, but
right.
we do a thing with our commercials. You know, how some will do like the recurring commercials, like it keeps coming back.
Yeah, they have like 3 or
yeah, and they like all relate to each other. Yeah,
right.
Ours would be like that, and every time we do it, we're like in some other uncomfortable situation with people arguing, and we're just like stuck there, you know.
That would be
like it would come back, and we'd be like in the different places, you know.
Yeah,
be pretty good.
All right, I'm on board with this. This is a good.
So give us money. Our Patreon will be linked in the description. No, and then my other one, which I didn't flesh out, but I thought it would be really cool, and we have some cool graphics, as if it was a boxing match, but every time they went to punch, it would like go slow motion, and they would like show their face, and everything would like pause, and they'd like say their point, and then they would like punch them, and then they go back and forth.
That is really weird that you bring that up. A, that's a pretty good idea. But B, I also had a third idea that I didn't flesh out that had boxing involved.
Really?
No
Why
joke.
were we thinking of the exact same
My
things?
idea though was like like everyone's really excited for this like huge boxing tournament or something like KSI versus Logan Paul, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And everyone shows up and
we should do a boxing match for publicity.
Yeah, we should. But then but it hasn't shown the actual boxing match yet. It's just showing the owner of the ring taking money and letting people in. But then like after a couple minutes, people start leaving angrily, and he's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" So he like runs in there to see why everyone's leaving angrily, and it's because like the boxing guys are like it's like me and you in the ring talking to the boxing guys, and we're just like debating instead of fighting it out, and everyone's leaving, and he's like, "Get out of here!"
No, we don't want it. We don't want people leaving though. People would be more interested. What the better commercial to make us look better is it's a boxing match, and everybody's like, it's like boring and nobody cares, and then we show up, and then everybody's like,
they're like really
the numbers
bad at
start boosting, and then because we're all just like arguing with each other.
Right.
That's better.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, those are our ideas for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that they could be pretty successful.
I agree. I mean, there are some crappy Super Bowl commercials. So.
There are.
Really, I mean, if we're gonna be a part of the Super Bowl, I think they should just give us the halftime show. But
I agree.
You know, we can make some stuff up.
There's no reason why. I don't think it's ever been done. But we can have a commercial and be in the halftime show.
True.
In fact, idea to your snapping one. We snap. And it's it's right before the halftime show, and boom, we snap. It leads into the halftime show.
Wow.
We're on the halftime show. That's when the halftime show starts.
Wow.
It's like a commercial.
What would we do at the halftime? Would
it's
we sing?
This year, that kid was like running around.
Yeah, and he ran through and he
ran
into
commercial, but then he like ran into the actual stadium, and then it was the actual Super Bowl, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool!" I thought that was awesome. Yeah. So I think that's what we should.
I actually did have an idea for a live shooting one. Basically, it'd be a little complicated. Basically, what it would be is it'd be like. We'd like tell people we'd set up like polls, and we'd tell people to like text in their votes, and then they vote, and then like obviously in between like the game or whatever, but in between when our next commercial is, we record some stuff having to do with their answers. Whoa. And then we like this is what you guys voted. This was the winner. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
It'd be tense
and
interactive.
Extremely hard to do. But
I don't think it would be that bad.
With your friendly donation of $11 million, we could do it.
Yeah, if anybody's like, if one of your guys' dads are loaded or something, hit us up. Or if you're loaded yourself.
Well, just send them a link to this video, and like
we'll start at change.org or something.
Give him the time mark just a couple minutes ago when we said that he could star in the commercial because you can. Yeah. You know what?
You can.
I mean, minus us. Like, we're going to be star 1, star 2.
Yeah, you can be star 3. You can be the guy getting chased by a bear or something.
You could be the bear.
You could be the bear.
Yeah.
We'll Photoshop or video, like, edit your face onto a bear.
Yep. But I think that's all
Until then.
Patreon.com/Squabble Studios.
You always say Patreon weird. It's Patreon.
That's what I said.
No, you're saying Patreon.
Patreon?
No, yeah. Our intern's correct. You're saying Patreon.
Patreon.com.
See, that's Patreon.
Fine.
Saying it like Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon.
Fine. Patreon. That's P-A...
you can't even spell it.
Patreon.
Yes.
/Squabble Studios. Did I say that right?
Sounded good to me.
Good, because. So go over there, donate $1 million. Make sure you spell and say Patreon right, and we will see you on the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
Does a Super Bowl happen every year?
Yes, bro.
I love sports.
Oh. Well, we'll snap you later. Let's hope we don't teleport somewhere. We really didn't do the whole outro. You kind of skipped over some stuff.
I wasn't done.
Oh.
You jumped over.
I thought the way you were talking made it seem like you were wrapping up. Carry on then.
Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Squabble Podcast.
Yes.
You can also find us on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts, including
the Super Bowl and our website,
the Super Bowl,
www.squabblepodcast.com.
And remember, patreon.com. Did I say it right?
Yes.
/Squabble Studios. 11 million.
Yes.
And we'll see you next year.
Yeah. We'll see you next year.
Well, we'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Because this episode comes out every Monday. But we'll also see
this episode comes out every Monday. We're just gonna re-release this episode every Monday.
Well,
until Super Bowl next year.
What you don't know, Jacob, is that every episode of Squabble is just a continuing because we just sit here our whole lives. And
true. We don't stop.
Somebody else
just
is the
play
one
clips
posting
of it.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
yeah, well, we'll see. We'll be here next week then, and then until then, we'll snap you later.
Yeah, boy.